Welcome to Black Love Matters, where this serves as the therapy session for figuring out adulthood,
loving each other,
and finding our inner Brock and Michelle,
or Jay-Z and Beyonce, or Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade. Now, I know there was a little bit of scandal, but they weathered the storm and they made it through. I just want to make the record clear. Niram chose this couple.
Well, who you picked then?
No, you chose Gabrielle and Dwayne Wade, and they do appear to be happy.
Right now.
Allegedly.
It's still black
on
love.
Instagram. You're right. It is still black love. I think I'm still riding for Dwayne's first wife. I think that's why it takes me some time to get adjusted to Gabrielle Union. But you know what? He is divorced. He is remarried. They both in love. They seem happy. They're successful. They melanin is popping. What else could be more? What else could be happening in the life? Like,
My point exactly. Black love is complicated, y'all.
That is true. Black love is complicated, and I shouldn't try to bogart the ones that I think is sketchy.
Exactly.
Because that's a personal thing. And you're right. Love is complicated. It's dynamic. It looks and feels different. And we need to respect everybody's love.
Exactly.
Look at that growth I had, Nero.
I see.
That's growth.
It is. Because, we can talk about the skeletons in your family closet.
Hold on. Wait. What?
Skeletons.
We don't need to talk about nobody's skeletons, okay?
Because you're talking about... It ain't. I'm just saying. Black love is complicated.
I know black love is very complicated,
Y'all
especially in the African American community. Shut up.
We
surely did. We surely did.
Y'all just found out y'all got a new uncle.
New uncles, yeah.
70 years later.
It ain't 70 years, but I did find like I had a new uncle like 50 years later. Like everybody wasn't 50 and older. I think my youngest uncle May was like in his late 40s, and they found out that they had a new brother. Back then it was complicated. In the 30s and 40s, folks talk about us now and our Instagram loves. Imagine how much dirt these niggas and bitches got away with without Instagram.
That's what I'm saying.
Jesus, imagine
so
all the stuff you could get away with when you just got a house phone. That's all you gotta worry about, the house phone with no caller ID, no nothing.
Oh, and a beeper.
What's a star 69? What's the one? What's
star 67
that you used to call back?
No, it's star 69 is when you call back. Star 67 is when you hide it from.
You block it. Remember star 67? Did that work still?
I don't know.
I'm gonna call you star 67. See what happened.
Okay.
They better charge me $100. Bitch, what did you try? What code did you try to put in? Anyway, back to Dwayne and Gabby Union. No, I'm teasing them. I'm just playing, but I love their love. I love how they always embrace each other. I think what I like about their love is the playfulness of it. Mm-hmm. I think whenever the love that they show us is something that seems very like it's humorous, it's light, it's airy, it's just kind of free for all, and I find that to be really endearing and genuine. Gabrielle Union said, "We are always best friends, but we weren't always present. The love was always there, but we couldn't figure out how to be partners at the same time and at the same rate. And then we could. It was just like that. You're my best friend in the world, and I love you so intensely. Let's figure it out." And that was her quote that she said about the growth that her and Dwayne has had in their relationship. So shout out to them. And like Niram said, black love is very complicated, but it's loving, it's deep, and it's beautiful. With that, who is you?
I'm Niram.
And I'm Nyambi.
And this is episode 46, y'all.
Happy hump day, y'all.
Happy hump day. Be sure to leave.
I was going to tell them they like almost through the week. I was trying to give them some.
We'll give some inspiration, baby.
That's it.
Okay.
You almost there. Shut up.
Y'all almost there.
Almost there.
But while you going there, make sure you leave a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts and on Stitcher. And follow us on all forms of social media. iTunes. I'm about to say iTunes. Facebook, Twitter.
What you talking about?
IG. All at Black Love Matters. Remember, that's Black with no K. Baby, what you got?
I don't have much. So, like y'all know, I've been working like crazy. It's nothing going on too big at the bot store. I think I already told y'all this story when I was working with some of my colleagues, and as y'all know, they white. And it was just amazing, the questions that I kept getting asked. Like, remember I told them when I showed a picture of you and us, because they were like, we didn't know. Nyambi, what? Show us a picture. And then when that girl was like, I love black men. I was like, sis, like how out of context is it? How do you respond with someone? Do men do that? So if you show the men, like, I guess men don't ask to see pictures of your significant other.
No, we
or
don't.
Do they?
I don't.
Or I'm talking about other people.
No, they don't.
Has anyone ever asked to see a picture of me?
No.
Uh-oh.
Unless it was a female.
Really? How'd that go? And then what you do?
I show them a picture.
And then what if she be like, I love black women?
I said, oh. At this time, we're not in an open relationship.
Oh, you're just going to assume it automatically mean you. Like, I kind of didn't know how to respond. I was like, oh, you know me. I was like, yeah, black men are amazing. That was my response. And then my other coworker who was dating on this website on Plenty of Fish. Actually I think it's a step below Plenty of Fish. What's the step below Plenty of Fish?
Okay, Cupid, I think.
Yeah, maybe that one. She's dating someone because she broke up with her long-time boyfriend because she said she wasn't sexually satisfied because he had a micro penis. Then I told you that my other coworker was not insulted. Then they gonna prod and say they gonna try to check her, talking about that ain't right. You don't just break up with somebody because they got a micro penis. They was like, well, how did he satisfy you, or what could you done? And the girl was like, he just brought in too many dildos and I wasn't there for it.
Did he have a BBC as one of them?
What?
Big back clock. Big back cock.
A big black. I should have asked that.
He got a micro penis. I just wanted to know.
No, I don't know what that. I don't know.
He can get an assortment. He can get the donkey dick. He can get the black penis.
It's more than about penises when you're having sex.
But for him, he got a micro penis.
I was actually more curious this question to ask. So what did she do to satisfy him?
Yeah, did she lick it like a clit?
Oh my God. I don't want to know. I'm surprised the one who said that she like black men ain't asked.
It's so many questions I got now.
I almost wanted to bring her to the show, but then I got to reveal my identity. then she go to the rest of the coworkers and listen, I'm going to get fired. They be like, now y'all be talking about us. Now y'all be talking about us. Every week she talking about us.
Every week. Shit, every day almost.
Every day. So nothing other than that's really going on. Like, I'm really trying to stay a little bit under the radar for the bot store because they got something coming. I'm about to cut these hours way back. So I'm about to make somebody mad. So I'm just really trying to ride under the radar for about the next 2-3 weeks. Yeah. And then when I hit that ass October 1st, to be like, well,
it ain't nothing to
I'll
cut
be
that
here
bitch off.
Monday, Wednesday, Thursday. That's it. Won't see you again. So I've been trying to play super sweet with them. Let's see. Oh, well, you know what I got to talk about. Insecure. Issa and that director, I don't know the woman's name. Y'all directed and ripped the hell out this last episode.
Yeah, the last episode was dope.
I wanted this last episode to be like this the whole season. Like, this last episode was sickening from the way it was even filmed.
It kind of reminded me, what was that that TV show you used to watch with the Affair?
Oh, like is the Affair back on, or is that canceled?
How they told 3 different stories.
Yes, that's where they got it from. Yes, so they gave the perspective like from Issa, from I just lost my damn train of thought. Issa, Molly, and Lawrence, and it was kind of the same events, but just from their different perspective. I think that goes back to always what I always say. You know, the real part of the story is 3 sides of the story. They side, your side, and the truth. And I just love when it comes together like that. And I just really like that perspective of it. I thought it was just really written, really smart, really honest. It made you get in your feelings, and it was amazing. Who should we start with first? Molly?
Yeah, we can start with Molly.
Molly's stupid. Look, that's it. Like, sis, I was proud of her for interviewing for other places and looked like she really meshed well with the black firm and stuff. And then she gonna go back to her white colleagues. They fucking tried it. Would they try to give her a fucking gold star?
Yeah.
What the fuck? Molly is a better bitch than me. I've been on ripped that. I would have said, hold on 1 minute. Then I would have called the other firm while I was in the meeting. I was like, I just want to let you know I'm going to accept the offer. Thank you.
It ain't nothing to cut
then
that bitch off.
Then I would be like, thank you for this star. In 2 weeks, I'll be gone, bitch. Like, that's what white people do to you, though.
They will.
But when people tell you who the fuck they are, you gotta what?
You gotta listen.
You have to listen. And you know, Nayan be always team brown people. Like, I'm team brown people even when we be on nigga shit. Because I'd rather deal with nigga shit than crafty cracker shit any day. Like, do you rather deal with nigga shit or white witchcraft?
Nigga shit.
I'd rather deal with nigga shit. Because remember, with Kelly, her ass, I don't like talking about, well, black folks be all up in your business trying to get you to go to church. Shit, I wish that's the biggest problem I had at fucking work. Somebody trying to get me to go to church and figure out my potato salad recipe. Fuck, that's a blessing. That's how you tell nigga people ain't never really worked with witchcraft. Because if you really worked with white witchcraft, you'll be praying for somebody to take you to church. You don't think?
Lord.
Would you rather work with the crafty cracker?
No, I told you. I'm all about working with black folk. I wish I can work with black folk. I wish there was more tech companies.
You started. You started.
Hey.
Practice what you preach.
Hey.
This is what we tell people. It ain't there. What? Start it. Hey, come on, don't be a Lawrence. And get a hootie hoop with that whack ass at.
Whoop.
What I say? Hootie hoop.
Hootie hoop. And maybe I should make an app called Hootie Hoop.
And see what happens.
Right.
Keeping up with Lawrence. But anywho, with Molly, so that situation, I hope Molly do go with that black firm. I hope that's at least one smart decision she made. But the trend that she got sound like she like being abused and hurt and taken advantage of, and so she gonna stay with that white firm. Next, she gonna talk to her counselor. So I'm glad she back with the counselor. I think it was Justin said she back with the big breast counselor. I said, what? Why you think the big breast? I think he called her like the big breasted counselor, some stupid shit like that. So she back with her. So I'm glad she did that. And then she went on a date with old boy, preacher body,
Lil Rel.
Yeah. And it looked like she had a good time.
Yeah, it looked like they fucked.
They did. It ain't look.
Yeah.
They did fuck. Oh. And I think that was good for body representation. Don't you think? Like, they got Kelly happy ass on there. You know, she's a thicker woman, but she's the more stereotypical, loud mouth, thick black girl, right? I think when bigger people are portrayed in the media, they have to be like the sense of comic relief, right? Yeah. They can't never really be the serious or sexy role. So I appreciate it. From being, you know, in my head, I'm still a thicker person. Am I still in the thicker person crew?
Nope.
Oh.
Baby, you lost 100 pounds. You ain't
But still, I feel like I should got an honorary membership in that bitch. I was there for 30 years. Was a life member. Like, I appreciated seeing him in her, like, in that. Does that make sense? Yeah. Being a bigger guy, what did you think about it?
I love to see representation of big dudes in the media. Because hell, it makes me feel like I can get a shot now.
I mean, you got it, me.
I'm talking about on the big screen.
What? Oh, okay. Be careful.
What?
Well, I was just making see what you gonna shoot your shot with.
So I can shoot my shot. Maybe I can be on Insecure one of these days.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So I can
be a love interest. Maybe I be Issa's love interest.
You don't want to be with that, honey.
Hey,
that's worse than the Kardashian curse.
Look, I'm acting, so I can be whoever you want me to be with.
Oh Jesus! Oh, now Nero, I'm at, honey.
Yeah. Okay. To be.
Oh, no,
or Nero. Not to be.
No, Nero. No.
That is the question.
That's so whack.
Well.
I'm not done giving my review.
Okay, come
on. So you made me lose train of thought. So I appreciated him being a bigger guy on that screen, right? And I think that's good representation, seeing different body types on there and really what that meant. It would look, what it signified. Now to the shit part. Molly getting ready. I'm thinking she getting sexy for Pastor Body. And who she getting sexy for? Groot.
Did you call that nigga Groot? Stupid.
What you I can't stand him. Every day. First he was a Space Jam man. What's his name? Now he Groot. Because Groot only gets Groot ain't Groot. That's how I feel like he is. He's shaped up like Groot. They got the same head type. What was Molly thinking? Stupid. All right, now we're gonna talk about who Lawrence. What happened with Lawrence?
What you mean?
I forgot about his flash forward. Oh, he broke up with Panera.
Oh my God. What's that? Pomodoro. I don't know what the hell her name is.
Lawrence just, after the broke up Issa, he just want anybody that ain't black. Any non-black girl. That's who he get with. Have you noticed that?
Well, yeah, Tasha. Tasha was black.
Well, that was why he was with Issa. Damn, what did happen to Tasha?
She gone.
Damn.
Tasha living her life.
What did happen to Tasha? We had no closure to that, did we?
No, we sure didn't. She called
Tasha said, not now, not today, not ever. That's what's up. Shout out to Tasha.
She called him a fuck boy who thought he was a good guy. Yep.
And she been gone.
Bye-bye.
Yeah, so she broke up with Panera. What is that girl name?
Let's just call her
Alicia Keys.
P.
I think, don't she remember Alicia Keys?
Yeah.
He broke up with A Keys. Actually, I didn't like A Keys that much because he thought she was cheating on him with some white boy at the job. But I didn't like A Keys for Lawrence. Like, I like her as a person, but for Lawrence, nah. Her vibes just wasn't giving me, I don't know. Her energy was just a little off to me. What you thought about her?
Is it because of her race ambiguous?
It ain't about just her race because she brown to me. She in the brown black community to me. Like, it don't matter. Like, she might be Indian, but it don't matter. She in the brown person community to me. Her energy, her like personality turned me off.
Yeah, her. I think
What?
Never mind.
What you gonna say?
I'm gonna say when it comes to those type of people, they just rub you the wrong way regardless.
What you mean those type of people?
Those type of like. You don't like those eclectic type of characters.
I'm eclectic.
Yeah, you are, but that type of eclectic.
Yeah, she seems like, I don't know. She seems like she don't stand firm in her word. Mean what she's saying. Say what she mean. I don't know. She seems like she talk a little slick.
I think she did talk a little slick. She told his ass, nigga, you ain't got shit to worry about. I done fucked
But
him
not
a few times.
yeah, but not slick and not that type of slick. Like I don't know, just like slimy. Like I would never do this. Oh, I didn't mean it like this. I meant it like that. You know, people like manipulate your words and shit.
Yeah, like she doesn't say, like everything she says can be taken in multiple ways.
Yes, very. Her speaking, her actions are ambiguous, just like her race. What's wrong? Next, Issa. I felt for Issa. This is the first time I felt sorry for her, or I've had empathy. You know, I try not to feel sorry for people. I had true empathy, because truly I don't have empathy for Issa. But this is the episode I was like, sis, been there, done that, wrote the script of what the empathy I had for Issa was that it's something about when everyone around you is moving forward and you staying still or moving backwards. Mm-hmm. That's some hurtful shit. It is. And it's not that you're not happy for your friends or people around you, but you be like, you feel so fucking stuck and dumb and alone and isolated that in that moment, I feel like I could look at Issa's eyes and be like, me too, sis. I want to do the color purple. Sister, you've been on my mind. I want to do color purple her.
Yeah, everybody was winning.
To be like, Nayan be here with you, Issa. Sister, you've been on my mind. But okay, well, first, let's start. I was hurt when Issa lost that promotion. Is it petty in me? And I have to work through my pettiness when that Frida white ass got that promotion instead of her. Was I the only one pissed?
No, I was pissed too.
That's the shit I'm talking about.
But I knew she wasn't going to get it when she had that conversation with her supervisor, and her supervisor was mad pissed. Like she didn't see the whole bigger scale of things.
White supervisors never do.
And I bet Frida was already sliding her shit on the side anyway.
I guarantee you.
BCC and her ass.
On everything.
Yeah.
So that hurt my heart too, that she lost the promotion. Not only that she lost the promotion, but she lost the promotion to Frida. Mm-hmm. Is that petty of me?
No, that white boy was mad as hell.
That white boy was the one showing the real. I wanted to be like, he would have been my only friend in the office. He like, let me pack my shit up.
He was hurt. You know he about to find a new job.
That's him packing his shit up. Packing his shit up and taking a personal day. That's how Nyambi would have been. And then at the end, Issa's still trying to be Issa, talking about, hey girl, we be friends. We go from there. Like, you know what I'm saying? If that's a friend to have your back, she didn't even say nothing. Like, she didn't mean it. Like, something. Mm. But I think that's just how it goes. And I think that's the hypocrisy that I'm talking about. So how much, like, underhanded microaggression, racist shit they say daily in that office, right? But this situation got to be blown up to the extreme. Does that?
Yeah.
That's what pisses me off about the situation.
That's how white folks work.
And that's why everybody was like, oh, that's right. Issa should say something about the Latinos. What the fuck is all the other shit when they was treating the nigga students crazy as hell? Like, black people, we have to just be, it's just like Papa Hope said, you got to be 3 times better. Over and above. Like, I think that's the shit that really that pissed me off. So, that had me stressed out. Or the empathy, I should say, not stressed out. Like, I felt her in that situation. And then when she got to get kicked out her house, wow. Like, her packing up that house. I was with her packing up the house. Like, just pack up the house, girl. It's all right. Mm-hmm. And then her brother ain't make it no better.
That nigga was on one.
He was on 1,000.
He was on one. Like, I don't want to be here. Hurry the fuck up.
Come on, let's go. No, what's them ground rules? You ain't gonna do this. Don't bring it into my house unless I'm fucking them. I said, what? Don't breathe. Don't look. Don't do nothing. I was
your
like,
curfew is at 9 p.m.
Yeah, you bring your ass home or don't come home by this time. I was just like, Issa, you don't work too hard for this. And then, the piece when Lawrence came. I felt like that conversation with Issa and Lawrence was bigger than Issa and Lawrence, though. I felt like that was a conversation between all like black and brown couples that have broken up that folks wish they can have. Mm-hmm. Like, I fucked up. I'm sorry. I love you. And then what was that flash forward? I thought that really had happened until I seen it with them children. Then I said, Issa ain't no child.
You said this is fake news.
Yeah, it's fake news. Now, the marriage I could have believed. Even a shotgun marriage, like getting next week, I could see that. Like, that wouldn't have surprised me. But these children, and they doing all that in this 1.5 bedroom house, honey, no. But they play with my emotions. But at the end, I think I was even hurt when they was just like, all right, bye. I said, damn, we can't even meet at Starbucks? Like, what does this mean? Like,
Miami was like, so what's the next step?
Yes, that's what I would have said. I would have been like, so what does this mean? Like, are we going to try to date? Are we friends? Are we not friends? Is this the end? Is that Nyambi problem?
Yeah.
What you would have did? You'd have just left too?
Probably.
Yes or no, Nero?
It depends on how I was feeling at that time.
You Lawrence, I'm Issa.
Well, if it's you, I'm saying, baby, I want you back.
Okay. Nero don't play too much.
I want you back.
So
baby,
that
come
hurt.
back.
But then on the icing of it is then when she go to Daniel's house. So he done popped you in the eye, sis. I thought you was mad, but you're going to go right back to him. Talking about I'm be on the couch. And he talking about he know. Really? Really? When I first watched it, I was upset with the finale, right? I was like, why did they end it? Like, what is this? But as I thought about it, it was the beauty of it. Because since it's a show, I wanted to leave either one, a cliffhanger, right? Or happily ever after. And they didn't give us neither of that.
Neither one of
what they gave us was what? Life. That's how life is.
It is.
Life don't leave you with these major cliffhangers. In life, you don't always make the right decision the first, second, third, 10th time. Like, it is exactly what life is like. So I finally had to process that to be like, damn, this how life be. I can't get, my happily ever after or my huge cliffhanger, So I appreciate that, that time and attention that Issa and her team took for this writing. But other highlights, the Dubois are pregnant, of course.
Yeah.
Of course. Actually, I thought it was going to happen. I thought something happened to that baby. Like, I thought she was going to lose that baby. And, like, she was going to go ticky, ticky, boom, boom. And, like, all her girls were going to come there to support her. Like, do you know, like, because I feel like I still haven't seen the Dubois. Like, they're very much the Dubois. Like, I haven't seen why she's their friend. Does that make sense?
Yeah, because you only see them when they out.
Yes.
It's certain friends like that where you just...
You
only see them when they out.
Shade. But you sometimes you have them friends that's super, super bougie, but you've been with them so long, like, you get... For 1 second, you get to see like who they are and why they're their friend. I feel like I haven't seen that with the Dubois. But like you said, maybe they just associates. They just what Nia say. Maybe they just the clubs, honey. Maybe they only come out. We like to do things together. Yeah, they ain't the aces. And then who was it? Kelly, the one I can't stand, who supposed to run a marathon and did 9 miles. I'm like the Dubois man. He says, "You just ran a 10K, honey." Hey,
she said her period came.
Her period came, and then I was like, "Well, sis, we all get periods. Like, I don't think you start running a marathon for your period." And then I'm like, oh, here she goes with them Game of Thrones. Somebody was the red wedding in my pants. I was like, oh, yeah. And I forgot she wore all white. I said, yes, sis. That's okay. Go home then. Because I'm like, okay, get your period. Put a tampon, let's go, sis. Like, and she was, then I was like, oh, you didn't know. And probably the stress of working out. And probably did start out of nowhere. Yeah. So, next time, Kelly. Anything else about Insecure?
No, I just can't wait till it come back.
Yeah, it's going to be really good. Next, I got... My reading list is going to be so thick. I have so many books that I want to read. The first one, did y'all see Queen Hillary Clinton came out with that book? What's called What Happened?
She just dropping.
Did anybody even know this was coming?
Yeah.
I didn't know this was coming.
They had leaked some excerpts.
And everyone said it's juicy. I'm going to get it. I don't know how quickly I'm going to read it, but I'm going to read every page and I'm going to check. I'm going to be like Santa Claus. I'm checking it once and I'm checking it twice to find out who was naughty and nice.
Is that going to be our next book club book?
Well, I got to finish this one, but we might. I'll read it once to see if it's juicy enough to share on here. Because the thing is, Hillary's a dangerous bitch. She don't got shit to lose. All her business is out there. From who her man was fucking and sucking, losing the presidential election twice. This bitch been investigated by the FBI. They done took her ass to jail. She don't got what? Shit to lose. So I cannot wait until she speaks says what she means and means what she fucking says.
She ain't got no more secrets.
No secrets.
The most dangerous person
in the world is a person with no secrets.
Not a goddamn one.
Ain't that?
That shit's scary. Motherfuckers about to be scared.
They need to be scared of Hillary. Hillary said, I ain't running for shit. Don't ask. Good luck.
Good luck. I'm rich.
Good.
So I don't have to confirm to none of these
swings
poor
here.
people problems.
Swings here, walks away, picks up her grandbaby Charlotte.
I'm rich and
go pick an apple for the fall. But I'm excited about reading it. What about you? Do Bernie got a book?
Bernie on something because this ass on every late night TV show.
Yeah, Bernie doing the same thing he did when he was running for president, talking shit.
Yeah, well, what you can expect.
Oh, now what can you expect? At first, Bernie was the truth.
Well, we're not going to play politics today.
I ain't playing politics. I'm playing facts.
Well, listen here.
Yeah.
When it's time to vote, I vote with my vote, period.
What the hell did you just say?
I vote with my vote.
Okay.
So if it's Bernie, it's Bernie. If it's Hillary, it's
Y'all
Hillary.
Keep voting for Bernie.
But let me finish. But it ain't motherfucking Donald Trump.
I guarantee that. Yeah. All right, Jill Stein.
I'm telling you. Oh, it ain't Jill Stein.
Okay. I'm just saying.
I'm not voting for fucking Jill Stein ass.
Meanwhile on the ranch, where is Jill Stein?
probably writing a book too. What happened to?
Because they always jocking Hillary, honey. They jocking Hillary. The second book, y'all know Gucci Man got an autobiography out. The cover is a picture of his hand with his pinky diamond ring. I want it. Gucci is winning.
When is this TV show coming out?
I don't know. Please, I would like to follow that. I would like to do weekly recaps of him and Keisha.
Me too.
I wish I can get invited to the wedding. I keep telling you should tweet them and see if we can get invited. I want to come.
Okay.
It would, and to do commentary. But I want to get his book. It's like a picture book, and it looks so fabulous. His skin looks so good. What is it?
Then they go on a plant-based diet.
It must be that retinol or something. He must got some type of chemical pill.
You said that BB cream.
That BB cream. He got that Fenty. He got that Fenty on. Them clear all them pores. But all right, Neil, what's going on with you?
First things first. I guess I gotta get the sad shit out the way. It is sad. Like, you know, my hearts and prayers goes out to everyone who was affected by Hurricane Irma and her terrorist ass. Now we got Jose coming, so I don't know what's going on with Jose, but Jose about to do some bullshit too. Yeah. Hearts and prayers go out to the family of Kanika Jenkins.
Yes.
This is a young lady who was found dead early Sunday in a walk-in freezer at the Crown Plaza in Chicago. Jesus.
Black girl.
Yeah, it's a black girl. I'm not gonna read her story, but definitely go Google that. Go look at it. It's a very sad story. And just the way they found her, they found her in a walk-in freezer at a hotel.
Yeah, that's something them hotel employees did, or the drug gang.
Yeah, it's something fishy about that. Like something in the milk ain't clean, and
something in the rice.
In the words of Nyambi, something in the rice ain't clean. But it's a very sad story, and I hope they can find justice for her, or at least get some type of well-being and peace. Another thing in the news that I just wanted to briefly bring up is that the Justice Department will not be pressing charges on the police officers who killed Freddie Gray.
God damn it! I'm just so okay.
Like, and the thing is, like, what? I don't have nothing else to say. Either it's fucked up, and this shit just keeps happening over and over and over again. I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm sad. I'm a bunch of emotions, and this shit just keeps happening, and I'm just mad and I'm fed up about it. So if y'all want to read some more information on that, y'all can find that out. Classes, man, I'm gonna stop talking about class. I just go up in there, and like I said, it's a mixed class, and I can just tell that I'm the oldest motherfucker in there besides the professor. So I'm just looking like, why am I here to teach? Like, can you just assign me the readings, and then I can just go home and write whatever paper you need me to write? Because I don't know why I'm in this class with 29 other 18 and 19-year-olds.
It's a process, Niram, and sometimes it's not about the class setting. I believe the Lord puts you in situations for different reasons.
No comment.
Okay.
So, to some things that brought me joy these past couple of days.
We should do that. Things that brought you joy.
Yeah, well.
That's smart, Niram.
Legends of motherfucking Chamberlain Heights.
Oh, Lord. I don't know. It's just some weird show that Niram watches.
I don't
know what I say. Is this South Park?
No, it's like a black version of South Park. That's what I like to call it. And it's about these. Y'all should see Nyambi over here. She modeling on her phone because she just put her Fenty on.
Yes, I did.
And she over here looking, and I'm just so distracted.
Mine is 410.
Okay. Your Fenty number is 410?
Yes.
Okay. Shout out to all the 410s out there.
Yes.
That's my baby's color. Mm-hmm. So Legends of Chamberlain Heights follows these three freshmen in high school, and they doing freshman shit. They ride the bench and on their JV team or varsity team or basketball team, and they do all types of nigga shit. Trying to get pussy, trying to get laid. I think what's also interesting is they got a white boy.
Ain't it always?
Yeah. And every time, because they be like, my nig, and every time he say my nig, they slap the shit out of him.
Okay. Nero.
It's funny. Who talks about it a lot? Rod and Karen from the Black Guy Who Tips. They talk about it a lot. So I figure, let me just give it a shot, because they talk about it so much. and it's a dope show. I'm hooked.
I'm gonna try to get into it. Like I seen a little bit of it. I only can take so much of that play shit.
Okay. But it was funny as hell.
Why you
I was
brush me off
rolling
like that?
because I can only take so much of that play shit.
That play.
My life is a real story.
Exactly. All that time.
I ain't got time to be playing.
All that playing.
All that playing shit. It's funny as hell. I'm gonna keep watching it, and y'all should check it out too. I think it's on Comedy Central.
Yeah, it's on Comedy Central.
Good TV show.
I forgot what it reminded me of. It reminded me of like something Adult Swim or something.
Yeah.
Like with the squiggly lines. Like
You talking about Robot Chicken or something like that?
yeah, that's what it really reminded me of.
I think it's the black version.
I'm more of a Boondocks type of girl. You know, I like stuff that be woke undertones.
Mm-hmm. Well, his little brother is woke, even though he a D-boy.
See, that's why I don't have time for
He
that
woke
shit.
D-boy.
I don't have time for that shit. Y'all see what I'm talking about, listeners? I don't have time for that shit.
Oh my God! There's this one episode where the little brother, he's woke, and he on this dating app for like black woke people, and they gonna meet up.
Is that a thing?
It should be.
It should be.
So they go to this Black Panther party.
Yes.
So,
Hold on. It's a Black Panther party. They play.
So they go to this Black Panther party, and he meet up with this woman, meet up with this girl that he been talking to online, and it's Becky, and her ass
She
got
white?
on. Yes, and her ass got on a kente cloth 3-piece, and she's just wokest white thing ever.
She woke. It, woke and white exists, but it just be a lot for me.
So everybody talking about his ass like, why the hell you bring this damn Becky to the Black Panther party?
They call her Becky?
I know.
Oh,
I'm just saying.
oh, okay.
I'm paraphrasing.
Okay.
Why they bring this back? So and she want to do woke black things.
Like, what is woke black things, nigga?
Like she enjoyed the Black Panther party. And she like reads like Malcolm X and shit like that.
And does spoken word.
Yeah, and spoken word. Things that woke black people do.
I'm woke and I don't like a spoken word. Okay, I cannot. I respect it and I clap and I participate. But if I had to put it on my to-do list,
You'll snap your fingers and things of that sort.
Yeah, I snap and I play for the culture.
So he took her to go see like some white movie, and then he was about to go take her to hockey, and she's like, "What the hell is all this shit?" Like, I want to do.
He tried it. He said he gonna take her to hockey.
And then she broke up with his ass. And then he got sad because he's like, you know what? I thought we like to do the same things. I thought we like to do woke black things, but evidently we don't.
You lied, huh?
And she broke up with him.
All right. Now.
So that shit was funny as hell. Last things, your boy had to do some adulting. This is how it happens when your ass get 30. So I have to do some things, talk to the realtor, make some changes and choices on the house, and the house selling thing. Basically after following up with our open house and things of that sort. So going through all that, and I'm definitely going to take note of this. So when we do talk about the house buying and selling episodes, these are some things I'll definitely bring up. And then another thing, our toilet was leaking.
Home ownership.
Home ownership is a bitch. So our toilet was leaking. And luckily, like Nyambi, we got hard water. So Nyambi has been trying to figure out what we can do to battle with this hard water, especially when it comes to the toilet and shit like that. Because it's like, it leaves like that. I want to say yellow. I don't know what it is. Like hard water stains. Y'all know when it's hard water, it leaves a hard water stain. So Nyambi done bought this blue shit. Back in the day when you put it in the back of the toilet and this blue shit. So one day, Nyambi's like, Niram, baby, can you come here for a second? And I was like, fuck. Whenever Naomi gets that nice and calls me baby and asks me, can I come here for 1 second? I know it's about to be some drama. So I'm over here getting prepared for it. And she's like, there's a leak. And I know we got homeowners insurance or whatever, but can you check this out?
No, we got a
home warranty. Yeah. So I go and check it out, and I say, it's just a little leak. I'll work on it. So last night I did a little test. I was like, all right, we got that blue water, so you can tell it's leaking because that blue shit is all over the place. Well, not all over the place, but it's like a little trail. Okay. So I cleaned up the bathroom or like that area where everything's at, and I come back, and Naomi had went to work, and it was like more blue shit that was there than when I had cleaned up. So I was like, I need to take care of this stuff. So, your boy had to go to Home Depot and look at some shit on YouTube, and, I took apart the toilet and, took all the pieces apart and put that shit back together. It was adulting at its best. I hope my baby enjoyed it.
Yeah, I mean, like what was that last episode?
Oh my god!
People don't get rewards for what they're supposed to do.
Well, I did some good as adults in here,
That's
and I at least like a thank you or something.
Well, ain't no thank you.
Okay.
It's your house too.
Alrighty.
He don't like that, y'all.
Well, that's all I got. We got some Black love story.
I think we do got some Black love today.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's up, Black love community? This week's Black love story is Cara and Ben. As y'all know or may not know, one of my forms entertainment is podcasting, and Cara is 1/3 of one of my favorite podcasts, Millennial Love.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah. The way that Cara talks about being on that podcast, I told Nyambi, like, look, we got to get them on the show.
Yeah, now you really had to tell me that because Niram said he listened to podcasts. I don't. I just got to this podcast game maybe a year ago. Like, I did it casually. I'm like my uncle who was like, oh, well, where is it at on TV? Like, so I had to ease into the podcast. And like when you told me to listen to them, it was good people. Like, I like podcasts that I can relate to, that I can put my headphones in and I can have a conversation with them. So I'm really excited about this.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
So Cara and Ben, welcome to the show.
Thank y'all.
Thank you. Oh, side note, it's Cara. No
it's
shade
Cara.
at all.
You
No
done said
problem.
her name wrong, Nero.
It's okay.
Look.
As many times it's supposed to be messing up our name. They be like Nyambi. They be messing all
Look.
our shit up.
I tried, but
Did
I
you
got this.
ask?
Yes. I thought I had it in my head
Yes.
together, baby.
Listen, this was
You started off right.
Look,
that's the Midwest
that,
twin game.
the Midwest, we good for messing up somebody's
We'll mess up a name and keep going. When we first started dating, y'all, it's a mess. It's a mess. Go ahead.
So, Cara and Ben, what you tell us a little bit about yourselves?
You want to start?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay.
I'm Benjamin Little. I'm from small town outside of Atlanta. Currently, I'm in medical school in Antigua.
All right now.
Prayers up for Antigua and Barbuda. Our sister island just got demolished by Irma.
Oh my goodness.
But I escaped Irma, and I've known Cara since 2008, 2007 actually, since we started college. Well, since I started college, and we started dating in 2008. So, and I'm still here.
Look, it's a testimony. He said like a testimony in church.
As a side note, he is in the States because I forced him pretty much damn near to come home
Yes.
when Irma was about to hit.
You did right.
So-
Yeah, because it's no joke out there. We so happy.
Yeah, I was like, I don't give a darn how much money it costs. You need
Come
to
on.
get your ass here.
Right.
I believe on having a credit card on ice just so I can max it out if I got to get the hell out wherever I'm at.
Good
At
idea.
any moment, I will max that bitch out.
Okay, well, I'm Cara Davis, also known as Cara D from Millennial Love. I'm from South Georgia, a really small town called Cecil. And I'm an attorney / writer / podcaster / blogger. I have a bunch of irons in the fire.
I was supposed to put slashes in my.
No, you didn't have to,
Oh,
no.
I didn't know.
You just multi-passionate.
And Ben and I met, back in 2007. We both went to Mercer University, which is in South Georgia, or Macon, Georgia, rather. And, we've been on and off for 9 years.
Okay.
Yeah. And the offs were because of me, not Ben, but we can get into that. But yeah, that's it.
So tell us the story on how y'all first met.
Okay, I'm gonna give my version. She probably won't change it too much, but her and her friend Jennifer were going around the freshman dorms stealing people's planners.
Because Mercer gives like this really nice, like embossed planner, and so you only get them when you're a freshman. And we were like, "Oh my god, we need the planner," and we know they're not gonna use it. Okay.
So she came and knocked on my door. And I don't know if it was on purpose or whatever the reasoning was, but she knocked on my door.
They were black.
And said, give me y'all's planner. Like, it wasn't, are you going to use it? None of that. She just said, give me y'all's planner. So I thought she was a bully from day one, honestly. I gave my planner up, needless to say. And later on that night, I saw her at a party. It was the first party of the year, and she was being ratchet or whatever. And that's how we met. She sold.
I don't have anything to add to that.
Okay.
That's exactly how we met. I will say the reason why we approached them is because we saw a group of black boys. And we were like, oh, they black. And some of them cute. Not all of them, but some. And so, meaning one, Ben. And then, yeah, that's how we approached them. But yeah, that's pretty much how it happened. I was ratchet.
That's what's up. So, you go through this, you steal this planner, you meet her at the party. How did the relationship start?
Shortly after she crossed, AKA.
Shout out.
Oh,
shout out. Oh wait, let's rewind though, babe.
Yeah.
Because I liked you before AKA.
But he asked how did the relationship start.
Okay, fine. Okay.
So we started hanging out after she crossed AKA, and
he was front row at my probate, by the way. Literally.
He better be.
Front row.
Aren't they all?
He was front row with mine too. So
I was your girlfriend at the time, but okay.
You still were front row. We started kicking it heavy after she crossed because, obviously she had free time then. And honestly, our relationship started on the ultimatum. We had been kicking it heavy for a while. And so she was like, you either gonna wife me or you gonna leave. And I wifed.
Hey.
So cuffing season was real, and she wanted to be cuffed, so I had to make it official.
Cara, you got anything to add to that?
As far as the ultimatum, I was a bully. I kind of am still a bully, low key. So yeah, I was very straightforward. Ben is, as you could probably tell, Ben is very laid back, and I am not. So my personality didn't allow me to like chill and figure out where things were going to go. I was like, nah, you need to either be with me or not. Like there's no in between because we were already having sex. So it was like, we were young. I was young as crap, but yeah, we were already having sex. So I was like, what else, what are you waiting on type thing. But to rewind, before I crossed AK, did I give you my number in the parking lot at the time before?
Yeah.
Okay. So the Deltas, this is pre-AKA, pre-us dating. The Deltas had this fashion show. And they would have this fashion show every year. And so I was in the fashion show and so was Ben. And like Ben was so fine at the fashion show. So I already knew he was cute, but I wasn't really like, he wasn't on my radar until the fashion show. So we had this fashion show and he freaking was looking like a snack. Like, I was like, dang. And I was telling all my friends, I was like, dang, Ben is fine. Like, low key, Ben is fine. And so don't shake your head. So that happened. And I think we like chopped it up at the thing, but it wasn't nothing like that. But I am a very like straightforward person. So like, I've always been like that with men too. So like when I like somebody, I just tell them like, look, I'm feeling you. Here's my number. Like, what's up? So that's exactly what happened. Like, I used to drive a Lincoln Town car.
Hey.
I drove a Lincoln Town car in college. It was my granddad's town car. And I was driving around the student center and Ben was like walking from the cab. And I stopped him in my car and I was like, hey, here's my number. You should give me a call.
Hey.
Like, okay. Like literally that. And he never called. And never text or anything. And so then when I crossed AKA, the day of my probate, this is like pre me coming out, I was like over by the mailboxes, which is like, I would say probably about 1,000 feet from where Ben was standing. And he saw me from like across the way and was like, Cara, is that you? And I was like, yeah, what's up? And he was talking to some girl and he left the girl. Come to find out, he was like kind of like talking to her a little bit. I didn't know this at the time. He left her to come talk to me and was like, oh my God, I haven't seen you around. Like, what's up? Where you been? And I was like, oh, I just been around. Exactly. And that was like, when I was like, okay, he likes me. But I was too worried about like thinking about AKA stuff. So like, we really like started kicking it heavy after I crossed. But he was literally, y'all, I'm not even lying. There are pictures, because I was the ace. There are pictures of me at the probate and Ben are in the pictures. Ben is in the pictures because he's so close to me at the probate.
I've never seen these pictures.
I know, that's fine.
Don't try. You know she got some receipts.
That's fine.
Oh my goodness. So I know you said, Ben, that you're in medical school and doing all that stuff. So you guys are in a long distance relationship, right? So how long have you been doing that? And can you talk to us a little bit about kind of the benefits and the drawbacks of having a long distance relationship?
We started long distance 2012. I went to grad school in Florida, and she started law school in Louisiana. Cara is very, like one of her love languages is physical touch. So it means a lot for her to have me present. Part of the reason why I'm in Texas now instead of Atlanta with my parents. Drawbacks is I can't give her that portion of her love language as much as I would like to. And a struggle that comes from it is that I have to figure out ways to provide more of her other love languages, like words of affirmation, to offset the lack of physical touch and my presence being here. It's hard with my schedule with studying and tests and things like that, with being in school, to give her the amount of attention and time that she requires, because I'm trying to, try to better out myself so that we can, be that power couple that we want to be.
Hey.
A benefit is that I think it definitely makes us closer, because we have to talk more. We have to keep in touch, like to let each other know what's going on around each other at all times. It makes it really hard to get complacent, because if we lack just a little bit on communication, then that's our relationship. So especially when I come back in town, we're much closer and we value our time so much more.
That's what's up, Cara. You got anything to add to
that? Cara has something to add.
I'm sorry, Cara.
You know I gave him the eye as soon as he damn said that. So now I got to get a Post-it note and put it in the front of the computer.
Look.
Let me tell you why I do that. Because people that I have known for my entire life still to this day call me Cara, and I hate it. Yeah. And so I just make it a point, because I also try to pronounce people's names correctly.
Gotcha.
So I was like, just that on principle alone.
You know what? I'm writing it down.
Phonetically, Cara.
I know. That's what I'm putting it. CAR dash A. So I can get it right.
Tildes in her names and hyphens and Z's.
Yeah, Cara.
Look, it's Cara.
Yeah.
It's phonetic. Just that dash. Do better, Mira.
I can piggyback off of Ben and say that our drawbacks are definitely the fact that my love language is so my physical touch love language is so prominent that it definitely like takes away from I don't want to say my wholeness, but it takes away from that's a huge aspect of my life. Just with anybody, like I moved to Dallas and I didn't know anyone. And so I'm very touchy feely with not only him, but my friends, my family. And so I don't have anyone here. So that definitely kind of like sets me back a bit. But the advantage, I think, let me stay with the disadvantage. So that's one. The second is, Ben is very laid back and not really a talker. And so the long distance, this is a gift and a curse. It has forced him to get out of his comfort zone and talk to me and be like very transparent with me about stuff. But in the beginning, we've been doing it since August 2016, right? We've been doing it for a year. We've been together for a year and some change, back together rather. But in the beginning, I want to know everything. I want to know details. And I want to know like the day in and day out of your day, because I'm going to give you that. And when he wasn't reciprocating that, it made me feel like he was hiding something. It made me feel like he just didn't want to talk to me, or that he didn't value letting me know what was going on to keep me in the loop. And so I felt in the beginning of our relationship, I would say probably the first 6 months, it was very rough, because we legitimately had to get on the same page. And it took a while and a lot of knockdown, drag out, screaming arguments over the phone. I I would be the screamer, obviously. He would be sitting like, and that's another thing, like the way we argue is very different. And so that is a drawback because I'm very vocal and he's not. And so we had to set like some ground rules. We made a vision board in January. We had to set some ground rules to say like neither one of us is going to yell. Like we have to have alternative dispute resolution. So that's been a huge issue, is just the communication and learning how to fight fair. Mm-hmm. But the good thing I think is what he said is that we've been forced to communicate more transparently and more openly and more frequently. So because that's our relationship. Like if we don't talk on the phone, like when are we gonna, like what is our relationship? And then secondly, it has allowed me the freedom to be able to literally do to pursue every other side hustle or avenue that I want to pursue. Because when he's here, like I don't want to do anything but be up under him. And it has allowed me to like really like focus on my job, focus on the podcast, focus because I can record at any time. There's no stipulations. But when he's here, I'm like, I'm not recording after a certain time because after that, like I'm with my man. Like that's it. Yeah. And so it has definitely allowed me to be able to pursue those things without feeling guilty about missing out on time with him or neglecting our quality time because that's one of his biggest love languages. But the thing that I'm worried about when he gets back and we like, you know, take the next step and like start living together, I am worried about being able to balance that because I know that like I can get into my like into every like side hustle I have, I can put my all into it, but I have to also put my all into my relationship too when he's here. So I'm definitely concerned about how bless you. I'm definitely concerned about how I'll be able to balance all of that. He's good. Like, he's very simple. And that's a good, yeah. He's very simple, and I am very complex. So just the balance of all of that. But it definitely has its advantages, for sure. I don't want people to think it's all bad, because it's not. I think we're in a really good place.
I agree.
Yeah.
That's what's up. You know, Ben, I feel you because even, you know, I work from home and Nyambi goes out and, you know, working things of that sort. And I kind of feel you on that. Like, our days are so routine that when you like, how was your day? What did you do? It usually revolves around the same five or six things. So it's like, I don't want to tell you the same time, like every day that, you know, I did my work and then I worked on the podcast or my other blogs or, you know, I did some freelancing. Like, it's hard to like verbalize the other things that's going on without getting irritated. Does that make sense? Do you feel the same way?
I feel the exact same way. Like, I study, I wake up, I cook breakfast, I study, I go work out, I come home. And I'm like, I don't really know what else I did today that wasn't in my normal day. Uh-huh. So she's like, but who'd you talk to? I'm like,
you.
So I was like, I don't really know what else to add to my story.
I get that, man.
I think also another thing, I just thought about this. Not that I don't trust Ben, but I know Ben is a great guy and he's very personable. And he also has like the holy grail of the 3 black men things.
I don't know. So you don't trust these hoes. You could have just
listen. He's black. He's educated. He's attractive. Well, the 3 things. He's educated. He's attractive, and he ain't got no kids. So he is.
You a unicorn. You a black unicorn.
Unicorn. There's plenty of us.
No. That, and also he's not like, he ain't shit nigga.
That's what I'm gonna say. He not ticky boom boom. There's a lot of folks like educated, no kids and all that, but a lot of them got some mama issues, personal issues, like there's some ticky stuff going on. The hormones not balanced. So yeah, you right, sis.
And Ben, I mean, he has some issues. Don't get me wrong. I'm not gonna act like he ain't, because he got some issues now, because he be getting on my damn nerves. But he has the holy grail of black manness, right? So he goes out into the world, and I'm not there, you know, because I'm here doing my thing. Only reason why they know I exist is because of social media, and he tells people. But like, I'm not there. So these hoes, they don't care about me because I'm not there. And so my issue is I've had trust issues, not with Ben thinking that he's going to do something, but with him being naive to think that these hoes ain't trying to do something. And so Ben is a very nice guy. He's friendly. He tries to be a mentor to people, blah, blah, blah. But you don't need to be texting no female after a certain time. I don't give a darn if y'all talking about class or Jesus.
The Lord, it don't matter.
The only person you need to be talking to after a certain time is me. Mm-hmm. And so we've had those issues. I think we've definitely, thank God, gotten past those because I was a snooping fool for a while.
Lord. God bless you, Ben.
No, they ain't got nothing to do with me.
But yeah, like I think that was one of our major issues was the trust thing. And he thinks it's I don't trust him. Mm-hmm. But it's not I don't trust him. I believe Ben is faithful. I really do. I just don't trust these hoes. And I feel like Ben is sometimes naive to the intentions of these hoes. But see, I can see these hoes because I'm a female too. So I know the type of shady shit we be doing. He doesn't see it. And so that concerns me sometimes because I'm like, I'm not there. Because if I was there, I would fight everybody.
Lord.
Oh my goodness. Yes.
I had people at Mercer scared of me.
You got people in Antigua scared of you.
I've never been in a fight in my life. Let's just put that out there. Never been in a fight in my life. People are like afraid of me.
Oh no.
Because I'm all barking no bite, but they don't know that. Yeah.
So, you know, you're in this long distance relationship. So how often do y'all like interact? Like how do you stay in the present, with your day-to-day life when y'all this far apart and not thinking about your partner far away?
Oh, that's a good one, because we get a lot of folks who ask questions. Like, look, our listeners like practical advice. It's like, what is the tips and tricks? Like, how do you stay connected? Like, what does that look like? Is it only Skype? Is it only email? That type of stuff. What are some of y'all tips and tricks?
We plan FaceTime dates, so we might watch movies together, cook the same meal together, things like that. We try to text all throughout the day. We have a scheduled time that we talk every day, 10 o'clock every day. We FaceTime. This semester, she wants to do like a little art project together. Like I paint and draw. So like a sip and strokes from a distance, basically, type thing.
Oh, that's nice.
That was her idea. But what else do we do, Ben?
We have this rule that I created that we can't go 5 hours without communicating in some way. So whether that's text, call, send a picture, emoji, whatever. But what was happening in the beginning of our relationship is he would just be so consumed with school and studying and stuff, he would forget. It definitely wasn't malicious at all, but he would just forget to reach out to anybody. And so we have this rule where we don't go more than 5 hours without communicating in some way. And I think that, yeah, so we do text throughout the day. I'm trying to think of what else.
She's really good about it. I do it from time to time, but not as frequently as she does. Like random emails that are just like what you mean to me type emails.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
Instead of like the regular just text message type thing. Here lately, I don't know where I started doing it, but like whatever we talked about the day before, I create some random good morning text based off of that. Like what we did, like she had a photo shoot for her blog yesterday. So if I was away, I would be like, good morning. I'm walking in the middle of the street trying not to get hit by a car, queen. And then say something sweet after it. But just reminding her that I remember what we've talked about and I call her queen every day just to remind her that she's still a queen. But
I love the good morning text, by the way. They're like the highlight of my day, for real. He does a really good job with them.
But
another thing I do is when he's here, we usually already know how many exams he's going to have. Like he has a finite number. It's like 4 exams every semester or something like that. So I write him last semester, his first semester, I would send him a card, like an inspirational card the week before his exam, but the mail started acting up. And he didn't get his Valentine's Day card until 6 months later. I was like, I'm not risking that.
That sounds like that international ass mail.
Yeah. And one time I had spent like $100 just to get him a thing of like a box of candy for Halloween. And it was like, I'm not doing that again. So what I do now is this last semester, when he was here, I just wrote out a whole bunch of cards like, open this when you're feeling sad, open this when you miss me, open this after your first exam, second exam, third exam, and just put him in his stuff. So that he can have those for when he's like, and he's not very, he's not sentimental like I am. So I get that sometimes I'd be like, so you open your card that say you miss me. So that means you don't miss me. He's like, Cara, that's not what that means. But another thing I do is I write little love notes and I stash them in his stuff when he's here. So he'll find them when he gets back. So I think you keep one in your wallet, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So like stuff like that, I have taught him how to be a little more intentional about that type of stuff because that's just not in his nature. So, yeah, that's really the trick is to like try to keep it spicy. What we don't do is we agreed that we weren't going to have phone sex.
Gotcha.
So that was something that we just were like, we're not going to do that.
Well, no, go ahead.
I was going to say, there's nothing wrong with phone sex. We've done it before. We did it like when I was in law school, I think. But it's just not something we do right now. And to be completely transparent, we were celibate for probably almost a year. We just kind of broke it this summer. But I think that was part of it because we were like, we're trying to be celibate that we don't want to like make sex a huge part of our relationship because there's so many other things. And I think as a consequence of that, we are so much closer than we were before because sex was, for me, in my like immature days, it was such a huge part of who I was, or I thought it was anyway. And so I would use it like, why you don't want to have sex with me? Does that mean you don't love me? Or does that mean, and he's like, no, I want to be around you. I don't have to have sex with you. And I didn't comprehend that because of my past. And so because that's just not a big part of our relationship, it's like when we have sex, it's great. Don't get me wrong. Like I love it. But at the same time, it's like I don't have to have sex with him. So we don't have to have this like that moment over the phone. Like we can have intimacy in other ways. Would you agree?
Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely. That's wonderful. First of all, y'all just done got a lot of couples in trouble because there's some folks sitting right next to their spouse ain't spoke to them in 6 hours. So when they just say you can't go 5 hours without talking to each other, I'm like looking at my phone. Aaron, what's the last time we said each other? Because sometimes we be in this damn house. I'm like, hey, we just talk to each other with eyes. Yeah. And you be like, all right, you done. But I guess it's different because we're here. But that's something to really, I really appreciate that in a relationship, the idea of that constant communication and that sense of intimacy. I think that's what y'all was really getting at. And how do you build intimacy amongst each other? So I really, really admire that. That's really, really how what you did too. And even how y'all touched on, how do you keep up the intimate aspect of your relationship when you kind of go these long periods without talking to each other, and talked about how you tried the phone sets and how you were celibate and how, it's kind of evolving too. So I think that's just really dynamic how y'all brought that all together. The next thing that this is a random question here. I'm gonna jump in on this one. So both of y'all are super, super driven people. So how do y'all navigate that? So, you went to law school, you were a lawyer, he did, graduate school, the medical school. How did you all navigate kind of that relationship, but still move forward in your career aspects?
I think at the beginning it was harder because both of us wanted to establish career first. So it was like, even though Cara has always had that, the princess dream of, going off, finding Prince Charming, getting married, starting a family, we had to come to an agreement that is our timeline the same as, some of these other Caucasoid people's timeline where you go to school and find a husband.
Yeah.
They
I hate you.
From the mountain.
I hate you.
I think knowing, like, something that I had learned over the time is like letting her know that what I'm doing right now, because I'm getting a late start to my med school dream, is to help us as a whole, not just for me to, chasing dreams. knowing that it's a joint effort, because ambition is something that I find one of the most attractive things. So when I see her chasing her dreams of starting the podcast, starting her personal blog, going to new firms, growing in her firm, that pushes me more to chase my dreams and accomplish everything that I have. So I think for me, the being so goal oriented is what keeps me with her and keeps me attracted to her. I mean, going forward in the relationship, like if I don't see the drive, then that's something that concerns me more than draws me to her.
Nice.
When did each of you know that that each other was the one, and who said "I love you" first?
Dang, Miriam, you did that with no segue.
Hey, I'm trying to get all up in their business.
He just went jumped. I said, "Well, are we changing the subject?"
No,
I
I'm
get
getting all
focused
up in
on.
their
I'm
business.
fascinated how couples kind of grow together in that power couple. Nero, want to get back to the love. We'll get back to the love. So, how did y'all know each other was the one, and who said "I love you" first? Dang, Nero.
I said I love you first, but I didn't say I love you. I said I heart you. I didn't want to fully say I love you, and I think I'm your first love, right?
Yeah.
So he had never said it before. And I had like 2 boyfriends before, girls be fast. And I'm also 2 years older than Ben. So that's kind of a side note, like not grades, but years. So I'm only 1 grade ahead of him, but 2 years older than him.
Gotcha.
Well, you're in some change, whatever. And so I said it first, and I said it while he was online for Alpha, and he never said it back. Oh, and so one time,
he tried.
I'm probably the bitchiest of bitches for this. In retrospect, it was horrible. He was online for Alpha. He was not supposed to see me. Like, one of the stipulations is like you can't be around females. And so I was in his room, and we were like kind of like on low key, and we were standing there, and I was like, I don't remember exactly what I said, but I was just like, if you like something along the lines of, if you don't tell me you love me, like, I'm done with you.
Nah, it wasn't that.
Oh, okay.
It was just, you felt like I didn't feel the same way about you. So it was one of those like, are you serious about the relationship type things? It wasn't a pressure for me to say I love you back.
Okay, I don't remember.
It was just you just had a fear of that you felt some way that I didn't feel. So you were trying to feel that out, but the way you chose to feel it out was to threaten to leave.
Yeah, because that's what I do. I mean, excuse me, that's what I did. I used to be the storm outer, all right, then, we done. That's unrealistic as crap. But I did it. And I gave him I think I gave you an ultimatum again. No. I didn't? Okay. Well, it ended up in both of it. Well, he probably wasn't crying, but he was very emotional. And he ended up telling me that day. And so since then, we say it all the time.
I knew, to answer the second question, I knew that she was the one, honestly, in our off period. We were apart basically all of her law school time, but we still communicated all the time. Each person that I attempted to entertain, I always, compared them to her, and, found different things that was like, well, Cara does this and you're not doing this type thing. I started thinking, like, when it was closer time for us, when we started talking about getting back together, everything I tried to do was geared towards being closer to her or geared towards starting a future with her, even when we weren't together. So she had moved to Dallas to start working. So I started looking for jobs in Dallas just to see if I could get closer to her. Whenever I finished grad school and she was in law school, I was looking for jobs in Louisiana where she was in law school, trying to make sure, like, okay, distance was the reason we didn't work out, or distance was the reason we broke up the first time. So let me figure out a way to end this distance. And I'm doing this with someone that I'm not even in a relationship with. So it had to get me to realize that I'm trying to make my future surrounding her present. So she's the one for me.
Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful.
It's really nice. Mine is a little different because I knew really early that Ben was my husband. Like I'm pretty sure I told you.
Yeah, she was like, "I'm gonna wife you, nigga."
No, because this is
You told my profile.
okay. But when I started dating Ben, I realized that, and this is, I think this kind of digs really deep, but I have a really troubled family life and past, like very troubled. My parents were divorced when I was like 10. They had a very volatile relationship. I grew up with my grandparents. And if you've listened to the podcast, my grandmother she left much to be desired. And so I had a tumultuous personal life. And I looked for comfort and wholeness from friends and boyfriends. And so I would date the wrong people, obviously, and just do my thug thizzle when I was in college early. And in high school, because I was looking for this perfection that I didn't have in my family life. And so when I met Ben and I found out his parents had been married for forever, and he was just the way I knew that he loved me, this is even like before we even fully, like, we were dating, but we weren't fully dating. I was having some financial aid issues, and I needed like $1,500 to stay in school. And me and Ben had probably been dating for like a month. And
it was about 7. It was I started dating in February. This was the beginning of
August.
Yeah.
Okay. So probably 6 or 7 months. And no, it was more than 5. It was like 2,000 or 3,000. Mm-hmm. And he gave me the money and didn't ask me to pay him back. And I was just like profusely like, I will pay you back. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I will pay you back. And I knew then that like he was somebody that I had to have in my life. So when I found out that his parents, like, he had just such a stable household, he was able to save money. And I'm still bad with money. I try to get better, but he's the like rock of that whole part of our relationship. And I found out like that he embodied stability. And for me, like looking at myself, I embodied instability. So I knew that I needed to have Ben forever because I needed that part of what he brought to my life. And so probably 6 or 7 months in, once he gave me that money, I was like, I'm gonna marry him.
So you got bought.
Pretty much.
Ben trying it. I almost jumped through this screen.
But
Yeah.
The thing with me was, and I think you can attest to this, you can probably talk about this more. They didn't ask us for this, but I'll give it to you anyway. Because I had such a tumultuous past, and because of all those things, I was broken. And so I didn't know, although I knew Ben was my husband, I didn't know what that looked like. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what being in a serious relationship and it being normal, like our normal. I didn't know what normal was. I wanted to fight and argue all the time because I felt like that was normal. I felt like if he didn't fight with me, then he didn't really love me because he needed to like show me that he loved me. And we had a very like, I mean, I can be honest and say, are you okay with me?
I don't know what you're about to say.
Okay. I just wanted to. Okay. Are you cool with that? Okay. So early in our relationship, like, I don't even remember what like time frame, but anyway, I stepped out. And it was because I was searching for completion because I was getting some stuff from Ben, but I needed other stuff from other people. And in retrospect, I was broken and I did not know who Cara was. I didn't know what I like brought to the table. I didn't know what Ben brought to the table. And so that's initially why we broke up whenever I got to law school, because I was like, you know what? I need to figure out who I am without you.
Exactly.
And I also need to figure out if you're the one. Although I know you are, I need to just make sure.
Yep.
That was my logic. Mm-hmm. It was stupid in retrospect, but I think we needed that time apart to really realize that. I think during that time apart, he realized that I was the one, and also I dated a whole bunch of duds, like some fools, and realized that like people really don't have what Ben brings to my life. Like, not only is he, I mean, regardless of who I was with, me and Ben still, I would say we probably went maybe an entire 2 weeks all together without talking every day. Because we would talk every day, either text or on the phone every day. I could agree with that. Like maybe 3 weeks overall over that entire 4 years, we did not talk. But he was literally always my best friend. Like, I'm getting emotional. Sorry.
No, it's real. That's beautiful.
Right. He is my best friend. And sorry.
No, it's real. It's real.
Hey,
no, it's real.
Why you
know I'm over here
Ben?
on my Miriam done hit me. I done got my Kleenex.
I was not expecting to cry.
No, I got my Kleenex.
No,
yes, you was.
He just literally has always been my best friend through everything. So regardless of what I was going through, he always saw what I was going to be. Mm-hmm. He always, and he would tell me like, you don't know. Oh, they're cold. That's why they're called frozen.
No, they're cold.
Oh, never mind. He would always remind me that like, he would always remind me of who I was. And he would always know, he knew that I was going to get to where I am now. Like he saw it years ago and I didn't even see it. And he saw it. He was like, you're going to be great. Like, you're great. You're amazing. You're this, that. Like, you're going to be amazing. And I didn't believe him. And then when I finally like went to therapy and like, I think that was another like reason why we got back together is because you saw me like grow and get it. Like, I was like, you know what? I'm going to get into therapy. I need to figure out what's wrong with me. I need to figure out what the deal is. And like, once I started doing that and I became like more whole and then I started to see myself like Ben saw me, that's when I was like, you know what? Like, this is some, like, these other niggas, like, they're full of shit. I needed to go through that to get to where I am today. Mm-hmm. But literally, like, after, I think we got back together in May, but we started talking about getting back together, in, like, December? You would say? Once that happened, I was dating other people, but once, like, Ben and I started getting serious, I was like, yeah. I was like, this is it. Like, he's it. He's it. And ever since then, I've been the model girlfriend. I think, anyway. Yeah. But yeah. Beautiful. Sorry, I didn't mean to get emotional. That was completely unscripted.
That's real. That's real.
And that's how it is. Yeah. So you folks can see the dynamics of what love is, and especially how Black love is and how deep and how, I always say, to the core it is. Like, that's just stuff that's not out there. So we appreciate y'all for being so open and transparent about that. The next we will say, kind of as we're beginning to wrap up a little bit, what would you all say kind of the keys to success of your relationship are?
You said keys to the success?
Yeah.
Yes.
Give us the major keys.
Oh, not the major keys.
Being completely honest with each other about feelings, about where your mental state is, where your physical state is, making the right, what is the word? The stuff we always talk about. I don't know.
I don't know.
Start with a C. Whatever. Making proper accommodations to make sure, like, if, like you said, I'm not emotional type, but to show her more emotion when I can. I think communication, as everyone says, but it's real to be in constant communication, so each person knows exactly how you're feeling at all times. Just makes them feel like they're actually included in your life, whether you're with them or you're long distance. Actually making the time for each other, because we all have busy lives, especially as millennials. Like, she has a lot of stuff going on, I have a lot of stuff going on, but as the saying goes, you make time for what you want to make time for. And the fact that we're making time for each other it lets her know that I'm invested fully in all aspects. And especially for dating couples that are serious, a key for me is like me as a man bringing up engagement and marriage, because I mean, the older you get, the less you want to play around in relationships. So I think it's very important to like speak about the future, because I don't think she would still be here if we weren't talking about getting engaged soon or getting married soon. So like the fact that I'm, looking at rings and talking about dates for whenever I could see us getting married, I think that is a huge key for couples that are looking at the future or being serious, because I mean, I don't want her to feel like I'm wasting her time. And I mean, I know I don't want to feel like she's wasting mine either.
Outside of what you've already said, I think that one of the most important things in our relationship is, I mean, as cliche as it sounds, but keeping God first. Mm-hmm. A lot of our most intimate moments involve us praying together. They involve us going, like when he's here, when we go to church together. That's actually one of my biggest turn-ons with him is, and this sounds really crazy, but not turn on, but like one of the things that really attracts me to Ben is his worship. Like when we're in church, like he is, I mean, I just be like, oh, I'm gonna marry him. Like, I don't know, it's so strange, but like we always pray, before any of his exams, we pray. Before anything major happens in our relationship, we pray. And we probably could do better with a lot of things. I mean, celibacy being one of them. But I think that we always, Ben makes it a point to keep God first. And that, I think, has definitely colored our lens as it relates to us, taking the next step. Because he brought up recently, okay, we're in a long distance relationship. What does premarital counseling look like for us? And that is, in a spiritual, that's a huge spiritual component to getting married. And so the fact that he thought about that, and I wasn't even thinking, not that I wouldn't have thought about it, but I wasn't thinking about that at that moment. The fact that he brought that up, I was like, I'm gonna marry him, because he's thinking about how we can fit together spiritually. Yes. We've already talked about what type of church we want to attend together. We've already talked about had those conversations. So that's really important. I think another really important aspect too is family. Family is a huge, huge part of my life, and one of our keys is being. I don't know why I think you're looking at me like this for a reason. One of my biggest things and keys is to make sure that I have a relationship with his family. Mm-hmm. Because they are a huge part of why he is who he is. And in order to understand him better, I also need to understand his family. So him and his mom, me and his mom have had conversations. She actually called me the last time he was here, right before he left, because I always get emotional, and just gave me a pep talk about it. She's like, listen, Ben's about to leave. You got some stuff to do and he got some stuff to do. Hold it down while he's gone. And that's what he needs. That's what he needs.
A real one.
His mama is real. She was like, look, hold it down, because that's the most attractive thing. If he comes back and you be like, I got this and you're good. She was like, let a couple tears slide. She was like, but after that, hold it down, handle your business, make sure that everything is good so that he don't have to worry about nothing when he's gone. And he comes back and the only thing he got to worry about is what size ring you need. So she didn't say that, but she did say.
That's what she implied.
And she did say in the beginning of the conversation, which really touched me. But this is why I think it's a key to our relationship, because when your family approves of your relationship and approves of your mate, I think that pushes you closer, because those are the people that know you best. Mm-hmm. And so his mom was like, she was like, if any two people are meant to be together, it's you and Ben. Mm. And she had never said anything like that to me before. And I was like, wow, that's powerful for me, because, I really feel that way. And although, I mean, he can probably talk about this better than me, my family leaves much to be desired as far as our relationship. And I think I think my family's issue with Ben is they're like, Cara's ready to be married and you're not. And they're worried about me. So they've expressed some concerns. But I think at the end of the day, they have my best interest at heart. So, and as do Ben's parents. And I think that the thing I love about Ben is, I mean, he's at the point where he's like, F it now. But before he's still, I think if I ask him to, he's very much about like getting to know them and figuring out what their mindset is as it relates to that. And so that's another key, I think, that keeps us really strong. And also, I have a dog. His name's Charlie. And Ben loves Charlie like he's his son, his own son.
He got to.
That is a key, too, because Ben will walk Charlie when I don't feel like it. Come here, Charlie. Ben will walk Charlie. Ben will love on Charlie. And he acts like he's really his son. And so here's Charles. Well, y'all can't see him on the podcast, but here he is.
Oh, what type of dog is that?
Okay, Nero.
Oh.
So, yeah.
I gotta get Nyambi a dog. What type of dog that is?
To get a dog. I mean, they're like babies, though. They're really like babies. I mean, Charlie is a child. For real. So anyway, yeah.
This was a great conversation. So, as we're kind of getting towards the end, is there anything else y'all want to share with us about your love story?
As you can tell, there's nothing that, there's no relationship that hasn't had their downfalls, their hard times. I think what makes our love story so real is that we haven't allowed all of the troubled times that we've been through define what our love is, and that it made us stronger, that the fact that we were able to endure whatever trials we've been through, it lets us know that going forward, that, bring it on, whatever comes at us, we're going to be able to survive it and be stronger at the end of it.
Beautiful.
That was great, babe. You did a good job.
Oh, thank you.
I think as much as cliche, I keep saying cliche things, but it really is real. I think you legitimately have to be each other's best friends, and you really have to that has to be your nigga, like your homie. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, when all this bad stuff happens and you're considering breaking up, the reason why you stay is because you're like, that is my nigga. And I can't imagine life, just doing regular stuff. I can't imagine going to do trivia without Ben. I can't imagine doing all of these things with Ben because that's my homie. And I think that is one of the you have to make sure that the person you're with and you want to be with in the long haul is somebody that you consider your homie. Because through all of it, that we remain best friends through the whole thing.
That's a word. Message. Yeah. Well, I just want to say thank you all for coming on and sharing your love story. Before we let you go, I know, Cara, you are a passionate person. So, Cara and Ben, do y'all have anything y'all want to plug?
Tell us more about Millennial Love.
Okay, so Millennial Love is a podcast of 3, and we talk about all things love, relationships, and millennials, and how our selfishness gets in the way of that, and how it plays into that. So we have an episode every week, every Sunday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. It's on all social media. All social media platforms at Millennial Love. That's 2 L's, 2 N's, LOV3. And we're also on all podcast platforms, so iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, Stitcher, and something else that I can't remember right now. Also, The Cara D, my website, which is my new blog / photo album / whatever else you want to call it. Hey, girl. It is launching on September 21st, which is my 30th birthday.
Nice.
So be on the lookout for that. Also, Millennial Love is having our second Neutral Sundays brunch. It's going to be October 23rd. It's in Dallas. But we're also going to be having our third Neutral Sundays brunch in Atlanta.
Nice.
For MLK weekend. So stay tuned for details on that. I think that's it for me. You want to plug something, babe?
I'm just Ben.
We're going to keep you prayed up for medical school. We're going to keep you prayed up for medical school, Ben. I'm in my PhD program, so I'm with you. I'm going to keep you prayed up. I'm going to send you a little care package.
Oh, congratulations.
But this was wonderful. Be sure when all this stuff is going, when you're launching your website, Millennial, send it us to our way so we can share it with our listeners. You know, we be listening. We're so excited with for this. And thank y'all again. We just can't say thank you enough for just being so honest and transparent and unwavering and steadfast in your word and your story. So again, thank you. Anything else, Nero?
Just thank you.
All right.
Y'all some dope people.
Y'all have a good one, okay?
Thanks.
All right.
You too.
Bye-bye.
Well, I just want to give a big shout out to Cara and Ben. We appreciate y'all coming on the show and sharing y'all black love.
Well, I got to say, I was going to cuss Nero out. He kept saying Cara name wrong. That's my soror too.
Hey.
Come on. Why you kept doing that?
I don't know. Like, I said her name right the first time, and then, I don't know. Y'all know I speak a little slow.
Yes.
Sometimes, I say something in my head and it come out differently.
Yes.
So, my bad, Cara. I know your name is Cara.
But again, we just want to give a thank you and a huge shout out to y'all. We appreciate you for coming on the show and sharing your black love with us. Y'all be sure to check out Millennial Love Podcast and all the other ventures that
Cara. See, I'm going to say it again. Cara.
is doing.
Cara
Because her website should be launching. What did she say? The 24th or the 30th? Whenever it is, we'll make sure we push it out on our stuff too.
Yeah.
And also, Ben, good luck to you out in med school too. I know it's serious out there.
Yeah, man. And good luck to you, man. I know that Antigua got fucked up during the storm, so hopefully you'll be able to go back and hopefully that much hasn't been lost, if anything is lost. And like I said, be sure to go to blacklovematters.com/love story to submit your black love story, and we'll definitely shout out. And, if we like it, we can also, call y'all up and have y'all interview on the show.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got some pillow talk.
Yeah. What's our pillow talk about today now?
All right. So I picked this pillow talk because as I was going to Home Depot, it was a little cold and I had to put on a hoodie. And that's when I looked up in the sky and I seen like the first leaf fall to the ground very slow. Yeah. And I thought to myself, cuffing season is upon us.
Nero.
It is, but cuffing season is upon us. Fall is here. Yeah. Whether you like it or not. We went to Cracker Barrel and they had a Christmas tree up.
They had that damn Christmas tree up.
Yeah. And I think it's prime time, since cuffing season, it's prime time for a lot of people to get into bad relationships.
Oh, come on,
you didn't think I was going this way.
I didn't know where
it's prime time. Cuffing season is the prime time for people to get into bad relationships because motherfuckers don't want to be alone and they get cold and they want that warm body next to us.
They get cold. You should invest in a heating blanket.
So, I went on Psychology Today to find a couple articles on, to figure out, why people get into bad relationships, why they stay in bad relationships, and what are the benefits to leaving relationships. So, I got 3 articles here and 3 things that we can talk about. And,
well, come on.
We can go from there. Okay. So the first article, some of the reasons why we get into bad relationships, they was talking about how psychologists had done research to help explain the tendencies on to why people initiate and then maintain relationships who are unlikely to fulfill our desires and needs. So in this post, she discussed 4 reasons why people initiate into bad relationships. One of them was comparison level. And what she meant by that is the comparison levels can be thought as standards and what you expect to receive from relationships. It's one of those things that, somebody that no matter like who they meet, they always feel like they are never too good for them. Or vice versa, where everybody is good for them. So comparison is one of them, and one of the things they mentioned in the article is that research suggests that attractive individuals have high comparison levels and expect more to benefit from relationships than people with lower comparison levels and people who consider themselves not to be as attractive. So, that was one of the things that they brought up. Another reason why people get in bad relationships, baby girl, is attachment style. Yeah.
What do you mean attachment style?
So attachment style theory suggests that an individual experience romantic love differently because of their past relationship histories, including their relationship with their parents. Our attachment styles may be stable across times and relationships, but they changed on particular partners. So if we recently been involved with a partner and who made you anxious about his or her commitment, you may tend to have a insecure attachment style for the next couple of relationships. You may look for a next partner more immediately after ending one relationship because you're trying to find something to validate you. Yeah. What do you think about that?
I mean, I think it's interesting. Naomi believe in self-work. So I think all this come back to then you want this person to help validate yourself. It has nothing to do with the other person. It's all about you and your idea of really trying to validate yourself. I'm still stuck on it when you talking about people is about to get cold and people about to get in bad relationships.
I'm saying it's cuffing season.
I still have not navigated through that yet. I'm still actually processing.
It's the truth. It's cuffing season, and a lot of niggas get in bad relationships.
Cuffing season, probably because I always been cuffed.
You was always cuffed. You cuffed right now.
I didn't know that was a really a thing.
Yes, it's cuffing season. This is like pre-game. You're trying to figure out who gonna keep you around or who you gonna keep around through that November through January.
And dudes, do y'all talk about this with each other?
Yeah.
How do conversations go?
Look, dog, it's cuffing season.
Y'all niggas don't be like, look dog, it's cuffing season.
We do. We like, man, it's cuffing season. We're gonna go out to this club. We need to find some potentials.
Yeah.
Because this is getting cold and I need somebody to cuddle up next to.
Yeah. I'm sorry, I distracted you.
Yeah.
But my thing is that getting in bad relationships, I think you get in bad relationships because you're not happy with yourself. Like, I feel like it's a distraction for something. But what I'm more interested in is why folks stay in a bad relationship. Because I think everybody has been in a bad relationship. And I think they're important for your growth and maturity. But I think what the problem is when folks stay in it or continuously go back to that bad relationship.
Gotcha.
I think that's the bigger question for me.
So there's two more things that they mentioned, and we can go there. So the third thing they mentioned why people get into bad relationships is physical attractiveness. So if a potential partner,
lust.
Yes,
Yeah.
lust. So if a potential partner is attractive, that factor can be an impact on our decisions to pursue a relationship. Recent research shows that physical attractiveness is equally important to men and women.
Yes.
Go figure. Although we tend to assume that good-looking partners will also possess other positive qualities. Physical attractive individuals may not make the best partners over long terms. Women who are more attractive than their male partners think about leaving their relationship more. Go figure.
Come on.
And show more interest into alternative partners. And men who are more attractive than their female partners may be less inclined to be invested or care about their future offsprings.
Yeah.
This is psychology today, baby.
I don't have nothing to say.
And the last one is psychologically reactance, and this is basically when you have your friends or your family, like rate your partner. So you're in the midst of you still in the middle of cuffing season. You're trying to figure out this is the person that's going to be cuffed, and you bring them around your cousins, your family, and they were like, "Nah, we don't like her." So it shows that people are, or even this situation, you have a friend. Everyone has that friend where they would somebody that's a fucking asshole and they don't really need to be with that person. That person is not good for them, and you tell them that like, oh, he ain't good for you, girl. You need to move on. But what they do anyway.
Exactly.
They stick with their ass. So that's one of the things that they mention is that sometimes people get into these bad relationships because of spite, to spite somebody else.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So moving on, some of the reasons why people stay in bad relationships.
Mm-hmm.
And it can be broken down into 6 things.
Yes. So this is like why they stay in. So this is what Nyambi's interested.
Yeah, this is what you're interested in.
Hit it.
Um,
You hear me? Hit it. Like it's a record. Hit it.
we can be satisfied with unsatisfactory relationships. So it says in a recent research exploring a woman's decisions about whether to stay or leave in their relationships, the single most important determinant of a woman's decision is to remain in their relationships was relationship satisfaction. It goes on to say that a shift of priorities. So this is another reason why people stay in there, and this is a common mechanism which help people maintain relationships are partner enhancements or positive illusions. Both of these terms refer to the fact that we tend to see our romantic partners more positively and sometimes irrealistically so. It also states that in both gay and lesbian couples, as well as heterosexual couples, those who view their partners as more positively also report more relationship satisfaction.
Oh my God.
And so, by being in this relationship, you always see your partner, or you try to see your partner. Yeah,
relationship,
the relationship, situationship,
whatever you
cuffation. You tend to see your partner in a positive light or this positive illusion, and that's one of the reasons why you stay in a relationship. So they gave an example. So for example, yeah, that's what it is. So for example, if your partner is generous but not thoughtful, you might come to value generosity more than thoughtfulness over the course of your relationship. When our partners reveal negative characteristics, we may downgrade the importance of those characteristics and upgrade the importance of the positive traits that our mates do possess. What do you think about that?
I think it's very, very true.
That's what's up.
No, what was you about to say?
No, I'm listening to you.
No, I think it's just true. Like, thinking about the idea when you talked about the shift in priorities, or, you went through all this, right? Like, excuse me, talking about like manipulations or just staying because that's just a status quo. It's about being, content and being scared to move forward in that. I think we know a lot of people and seeing what it is to be content, because sometimes it's easier. What's the song? It's cheaper to keep her.
It's cheaper to keep her. So there's a couple other things that they mentioned, low quality alternatives.
Boom. That's what I was waiting for. That's the one I was going to say, but I wasn't sure if you said that. I think a lot of folks lean on this because they say it ain't no other good men or women out there, so I might as well fill in the blank, right?
Yeah.
I think these are lies we tell ourselves, though. But I think a lot of folks fall into that trap.
It says if you are in an undesirable relationship, you may consider alternatives to that relationship, including being alone, entering a different relationship. If you perceive that an alternative may be preferable to your current situation, you're more likely to leave your relationship. But if you perceive lower quality alternatives, you're more likely to stay, even though the relationship is unsatisfying.
Yes, duh. So I was saying this low quality alternatives then transitions to, I think it's the next thing you're going to say, is this idea of manipulation. So who done put it in your head that is low quality alternatives out there? The motherfucker you was with, because he told you wasn't shit. Like, that's what all this is like mind games and about self-efficacy and like really loving yourself and knowing yourself. And I think it relates back to what we were talking about, being in gaslighter relationships. And it's just bullshit. Like, the thing is, even if there's low quality alternatives, it's always one that's going to be the best. You. Does that make
Yeah, it makes sense.
Being alone is not the worst thing in the world. And I don't know why we put this, idea in everyone's head that if you're alone or if you're not coupled up in the traditional sense, that you're going to have a horrible life. So even for that to be an option to say it's low quality alternate, well, it ain't no low quality alternatives because the last alternate is just you.
It's you.
Shit. And if you can't be with you, who you going to be with? And then I know the next one that we talked about, where you were going to talk about, was this idea of manipulation. So having your partner manipulate you. So we talking about all those gaslighters out there. So y'all know them partners y'all be with when you have an argument with them and they know they in the wrong. By the end of the day, they flipping it on your ass. Yeah, they the dope fiend manipulators. And then the next one that they had, what was it, Nero?
Investment.
So yeah, this is that complacency thing. So you don't invest X amount of years, X amount of times, X amount of dollars, X amount of bodies, whatever. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean by sometimes you don't have sex. Well, you know, that's what the kids call them now. Bodies. Did you know they call them bodies?
Yeah.
I didn't know they call them that. I was talking with my younger cousin, and we was just kikiing, and we said, he was like, yeah, niggas be thinking, you know, bitches be thinking they fly because they got the dude you was talking with. Like, and then it was like, meanwhile, this nigga got about 100 bodies on his bed. I was like, he killed people? That's what I was like, who? He had 100? He killed 100 people? And she was like, what are you talking about? I mean, sex. I was like, oh, I'm a killer. You know, from Detroit, I'm a killer. So I think that investment, meaning I don't care if you put 40 years in, just like the mama from Being Mary Jane. I don't care if you put 40, 50 years in. If it's a point where you're unhappy and this is not what you want to do or how you want to do it, you move the fuck on. And you be okay with that. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't hold that over your head. You a woman or you're a man, you have the right to change your motherfucking mind, and you can change your passion, your vision, and all that whenever you want. And then, what's the
last one is love. People stay with somebody because they love them.
What's love? As Queen Tina Turner says, what's love got to do with it? It takes a lot more than love for a relationship to be successful. We done told y'all that how many times on this podcast, y'all. Love is, I would say, what, a third? How much would you give love?
1/10.
Oh, Nero.
No. Okay,
don't do
1/5.
that. Don't do that. I say a third.
Okay.
I say a third.
Okay.
But to make it work. So you can really love someone, but that don't mean you make it work. I think we all been in love with folks that we be like, this shit ain't gonna work. And not just in romantic relationships. I think in friends, families that you love them, but you're like, this shit ain't gonna work. I need some space. Mm-hmm. So again, it's more than that. It's more, you have to have the same goals, dreams, aspirations. Like, it's just deep.
Yeah. So another thing that Psychology Today brought up was it is. They turned up this week.
Yeah.
It's the aspiring reasons on why you should leave your rotten relationship. And they broke it down into 4 things.
Yeah.
You know, 1, your breakup would not be as upsetting as you think it's going to be.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be as bad as you think.
Yeah, it always plays out bigger in your head than it is in real life.
Exactly.
And as time goes off, you go think in your head, I should have just sent them a Post-it note.
Exactly.
And say, I'm done, bitch.
The next thing is that you can achieve personal growth through breakups.
Yes.
You know, I always feel like that a breakup is the best time to get your ass to the gym. It's the best time to go to get some yoga.
You always say it's time to get sexy.
It's time to get sexy. Mm-hmm. Spiritual, mental, physical. All get your ass up there, get sexy, go get some green juice, and get flexible.
And get flexible. Come
on. The third thing is you'll be happier in another relationship or alone. So it's been multiple times. I even think about like when my parents is, you know, in their relationship and me wishing like I wish they just break up because they just argued so much and they bickered and you know my pops was cheating on my mom. So I almost feel like if y'all break up, y'all be so much happier alone than y'all will be together.
Absolutely.
And you know the bottom line to all this is that you know if you're in a terrible relationship and you're worried about negative impact of your relationship, try focusing on the positive things that can can result in your life. So, you know, less distress to your image, increased positive growth, and the potential to be happiness, regardless of your relationship style.
I agree.
Like, regardless.
What was your worst breakup? I don't have a worst breakup story.
That's one of the things I was trying to think about. Like, I don't know. I think I do.
Uh-oh, what is it?
So I
thought you ain't have. I really don't have one. All my breakups have been pretty cordial.
It was cordial, but I think this is a breakup where I was kind of hurt. Oh. You know how you get in a relationship? Maybe you don't know how you just get in a relationship and it just goes so fast. So I remember when I was at the Black College in Tennessee, and I was talking to one of my friends, and one of her friends was there, and we talked. We exchanged numbers, and we started kicking it over the phone. And I was in Tennessee. She was still in Detroit. And then I came back to Detroit. We started kicking it tough. You know, I was staying with them. I was staying with her for a good month and a half. And
hold on, you stayed with her?
Yeah, I stayed with her.
Oh, my God.
And, you know, I just think it moved hella fast. And we just kind of broke it off. Like, we had this conversation. And it was like, well, what are we doing? Like, you've only been here for about a month and, already moved in, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, I think this is going too fast. And I said, yeah, I think so too. And then we just broke it off. And I think I cried. I remember crying. I remember crying like, oh man, this is hurtful.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
What
about you?
What was you? I don't have one.
Uh-huh.
I never did. Like, I didn't play those games.
You didn't?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I was always, I always needed closure. I remember my feelings maybe hurt, but I never had like a crazy breakup story where it's like, what we doing?
Mm-hmm.
I think the crazy one I told y'all before was when we both was in the car and was like, we don't love each other. What the fuck is we doing?
Uh-huh.
Bye. We using each other.
Yeah.
I think that was the worst one. But I don't have nothing crazy. I remember I had one like younger one, like maybe his family moved away. It was just more dramatic than anything. But I don't like. When I even think back to my breakups, like I don't remember having like true big heartbreak. Like I feel like we always were like, yeah, this is probably the best thing to do. So I've been lucky when it comes to that.
And I think that by worst breakup, I wouldn't even consider this as like a bad breakup. I just think it was more or less like dramatic. Like we moved in, like I moved in there, like when I came back from Tennessee, and
that was
like
extra.
fast.
I didn't even know about that. So when this podcast go off, I want to know more. I'm only gonna ask so many questions on here, but I want to know more. So how many women have you lived with?
2. No.
Including me?
3.
Okay.
Including you.
You know what? I'm not about to get caught up with you.
What?
Right now, I haven't lived with another man. I have not lived with another man.
Well, except for me.
Yeah.
Well, we can talk about this offline, yeah. So, I wouldn't say that it was a bad breakup, but was breakup more or less it being dramatic, and it just moved so fast that, I was like, boom, I was there when a break. I moved in. By the end of winter break, when I moved back, we had already broke up, and, that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's a good one. I want to hear what y'all got to think Black Love community. So,
Yeah.
what's y'all worst breakup stories? Why did y'all stay in bad relationships? What got you in it? What's all that stuff? Give us some feedback. Let us know.
Yeah, we got some kitchen table talk.
No kitchen table talk today. So, as always, to submit your questions for kitchen table talk, shoot us the email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. Sounds good?
Yeah.
All righty.
Alrighty, so submit your Black Love story. Go to blacklovematters.com/love story. To submit a question for Kitchen Table Talk, shoot us an email at blacklovematters@gmail.com. To leave a comment on anything about everything, go to blacklovematters.com. Go to our SoundCloud at Black Love Matters, or shoot us an email and a voicemail at 508-784-1111. That's 508-784-1111. Talk to you guys later. And remember, love is ever evolving.
Peace.
Peace.